Hello guys, welcome back to my beautiful space. This is Nomad Saka. It's another day, another morning. God has made it a blessing to me because I've seen the day, and I really appreciate. I'm so grateful for this day, and today is another positive day for me. So as you can see, I'm still here in Villa Medellin, and it is just fun being around the positive people and a lot of laughter. So guys, as you can see, my life here in the village is always good. When I'm always around here, I always feel like, yes, this is what I really want to have. And today I've just decided to, keep you guys updated and let you know what's happening and how it's happening. Yeah. So for those who don't know, I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a son. Yeah, I'm not a grandfather yet, but we are hoping for the best. So, in this life, you have to be very, very, very happy. Like, you need to make sure that your happiness comes first. And today I just want to tell you a story about my life. Some of the people, most of the people don't know about me, and my journey has not just been smooth. I know people are not the same, and everyone has a story to tell. Yeah, but as you can see, we have to at least tell our stories to inspire people, not to seek sympathy. So yeah, it is always like that. When we tell our stories, we tend to inspire, not to seek for sympathy. Yeah, so that's what's up. So guys, as you can see, my name is Nomad Saka, but my real name is Steven Saka. Steven Oloch Saka. Saka is a family name, and most of the times, people tend to ask us, why did you call yourself Saka? Because we all know that Saka is for, like, it's not that popular, but nowadays it is popular, but it used to be, no one knew about the name Saka. Yeah, so Saka is my father's name, and I have 8 siblings, including me. We are 8 in our family, 8 kids, my father and my mom, and we thank God because we are all alive. Yeah, we are all alive. Thank God for that. So me, I grew up in Nairobi. I was born and raised in Nairobi. Me and my siblings, but not all of them. Like my sisters were born in the village. My only 2 sisters, they were born in the village. They've been in the village, but not for that long, because my mom came back to the city to join my dad. There's a point in life, we went back to the village because my dad was struggling to survive in the city. That was 2005. So as I start, as I have just said, we are 8 siblings. I'm the second born, and my firstborn brother uh, uh, is known as Chris. This guy, he was like, I don't say, we can say he was what do we say, introvert, up to today, man. And this guy, this guy was once as a high school principal, but he's an introvert. He don't speak much. He's just quiet, but me, I was different. I was this hyper kid with a lot of curiosity. I was just out there trying to look for something to do, and I was always jumping on one thing and to another. So when we were growing up, like, I remember we were like, my first brother, me, uh, my other brother that follows me. Then we had another brother known as uh, Lawi. Then Mike. Mike was the youngest that time. Mike is the one who's running my studio at the moment. So you see, Mike was the youngest at that time, and he was so young. Like, he was so young, so young. Trust me, he was like 4 years or 3. And then we had like Eddie was like 1 year by that time. So in 2005, because that's what my memory comes in. Like, I can remember a lot from there. Maybe from 2004, maybe three slightly, but from 2004 2005, I can remember what I was doing. Like, I have a lot of memories. Though I still have some memories from the bomb blast which happened in 1998, because that day we were heading to the embassy bomb blast that they bombed the American embassy. Yes, I remember it. I even remember our apartment shaking. It was crazy. It was like a small earthquake. And that day we were heading to the village. We were going for a burial. There was my relative who passed. It was my my dad's brother, my uncle. Yeah. So when we went there, when we were closing the door, we were just getting out. Then we heard the boom sound and the shaking and everything. So we were like, what is this? It happened like twice, the first one and the second one. So we just assumed and continued with our journey. So when we went to, because we were near the city, we were living near Nairobi, a place known as Mbotela. For those who know Mbotela, back then Mbotela used to be a big deal. It was a big estate. It was just the estate to be at. So we went, it was near the road, Jogo Road. So we went to the road and we saw ambulances, police cars, fire extinguishers and everything. People were busy there. It was chaotic. And because those times there was no like phones to call back home and, and tell them that this is what is happening. We used to have like radios only. People used to rely on uh, radio. They always listen to news. They always listen to updates from the radio. And TV was not that famous by that time. That was 98. So when we went to the village, people were like, yo guys, what are you guys doing here, man? We thought that for them they thought that we were, because in the radios they were announcing that Nairobi has been bombed and it's chaotic. People have died. People have lost their lives. People are injured. So when the village people saw us, they thought that we have been misplaced. We are homeless. Now we are coming back to the village, you know. So for them, they thought because in Kenya, when you are dead, when someone is dead, they don't just bury them, especially Christians. They don't just bury them the next day. They can take up to 3 weeks. Some takes even a month. So this guy died earlier. My father's dad. My father's brother, who's my uncle. So he died earlier. Like he died the same week, and we went the same week because my dad was. I guess he had a leave for 30 days. So he just said, let's just go home and chill. So when we went home, and the same day that thing happened, we traveled for like, I don't know, 15 hours, because back then people used to take a lot of time going back home because the roads were bad and everything. So when we got home, people were like, hey man, we are sorry. I know you guys are now homeless. And we were like, no, we are just here for the burial, then we go back. This thing didn't affect us, though we had it, but we were far from it. Then now we got the news. Back that time was not like today. Nowadays we have social media. We have like we can communicate. We can send photos, pictures. Not like, but that time was not. Those things were not there. So we stayed there for like, I don't know, some few weeks. Then we came back and continued with our life. So back to the story. So when we were growing up, I remember our life was not that easy, and one thing I came to realize about this life is that when you are a kid, you always wish that you can become a grown up. But now when you're a grown up, you always wish that you go back to childhood, because in my childhood I really enjoyed. I was so happy, even though we didn't have like everything. You know, city life can be a problem to a lot of people, and it is always like most of the people are like in the rat race. The rat race, the circle thing, where the rat runs and it goes nowhere. That's what the city life is, and that's what my dad experienced. Like, we were living from check to check, uh, not like from pocket to mouth. He didn't have like savings and everything, and then again he had like By that time, he had like 6 kids, and living in the city. So it was just tough. He didn't have time for the family. As a parent, we only knew my mom, and my mom could tell what I like, what I don't like. But my dad, he didn't have nothing. When he came home, he was tired, frustrated. He was just hungry. So as as things go, you can't just love somebody who is not there for you, who is always uh, hitting you. When you are kids, when you do any mistakes, the people here, like the African people, know the fathers normally they don't mingle with their kids. As far as they provide, they are always there. But I thank God my father used to provide for us. Not a single day we went to bed empty stomach. Even if we were close to go to bed empty stomach, he used to, you know, do his things. There's a day I remember he was even arrested. I don't know, he took some money from somebody and he didn't repay on time. So they came and confiscated our cooking equipment. It was like a gas cylinder and some few things. And man, it was devastating, man. It was devastating. I remember there's a day my dad started drinking. Yeah, for the first time I saw him drunk, and I guess the friends that he had gave him a lot of alcohol. So when he came, my siblings and I, we went to the. He was not able to climb the staircase to go to the because we were living on the first floor. The house, like the plot, only had like the ground floor and the first floor. So we were living on the first floor. So he was not able to climb the staircase. So he slept there, and I remember it was not a good picture because he urinated on himself. So when we saw this and he realized that we saw this, he was so embarrassed. So he never drank again. He never drank again. So I remember that time, man, he was just like my dad was not a person you could talk to. He used to be commanding, he used to be asking direct questions. Did you do this? How did you do this? Why did you do this? And if you don't answer, you get punished by cane, yeah? You get caned. So we grew up like that. For me, I was like outgoing. I was this kid who like when you see my son right now, that was me. Yeah. So most of the time, I used to be different. Yeah. So, and then another thing in my family, my siblings, like my let's say my firstborn brother and the brother behind after me, they used to do well in school, like number one, literally. They used to be number one in class. I remember my firstborn brother used to get maybe number one or number two, but the other brother used to be number one always. This guy used to be smart, so they wanted me to keep up the pace. You know what I mean? I know some African people have experienced this. So if you don't get what they are getting, now you get into trouble. They'll be like, why are you not doing good? Why are you not performing well? And the funny thing for me, I was top 10. I used to be top 10. Like I could be number 6, number 5, sometimes number 7. But mostly it was number 5, 6, 5, 6, 5, 6. But they wanted me to be number one because other brothers were always number one. But for me, I used to take life very easy because I knew that I do what my heart tells me to do. And that's what I've sticked on up to today. So while growing, we had a lot of challenges as a family. But one thing I really appreciate my dad and my mom, they kept us close. Sometimes you find uh, siblings quarreling, brothers fighting, even if they are grown. For us, we used to fight when we were kids, but it was just these petty things. But nowadays, I see brothers fighting. It becomes more dangerous. They even go to an extent of killing each other. Yeah. So for me, I didn't see that, and I really thank God because that's so bad. I can't imagine fighting my brother. So it was just good growing up with my siblings. Up to today, we have good terms. We can talk. I can call my bro. We can meet, we can vibe, we can remember the past when we were kids, you know. So that's one thing I give my parents. So when I was in class 5, that's when things started changing. My dad went to, like, he was now not earning enough. Maybe the company that he was working with laid them off, and he didn't have like enough to sustain us in the city. And the funny thing, it is not like it was not a lot of money, but now you see, uh, it's not there. So he had to survive, hustle, and everything. Then another thing that maybe affects us. Tell me down below, guys. Maybe if you can relate. Most of these people or most of these things that we normally do affects our future. The small things that you do today affects our future. But and the most of it is all about making people happy, because we have this mentality: when you get out of the village and when you come back, people will be like, oh man, you are worn out, you didn't make it, you are a failure. That's what people believe in, right? So when we were growing up, when my dad lost his job, now we had to go back to the village, and my dad remained back with my firstborn brother, so that because he was joining high school from one, so he had to go back to, because yeah, he had to go back to the city with my dad so that he can continue his education. So we came back to the village, and my dad went to relocated from Botella to a slum known as Mukuru kwa Ruben. So this was a slum. It was houses were built of shacks, iron sheets. The shacks, they were just misplaced, and drainage system, the sewage was running on the door. It was just messed up, and it was smelling. So I was never there before because we went straight to the village. So as always, I'm always this hyper, and all my life I studied in Nairobi school. In schools in Nairobi, they are like, they're always updated. Like, we have shoes. Even if it was discipline, they didn't cane us that much. But when I went to the village, my friend, it was chaotic. The village school was like prison to me, because me, I'm used to soft life. I'm used to not being serious. I'm used to being free with the teachers. I'm used to mingling around and everything. So when I went to that school, it was something different. Man, first of all, kids were going to school without shoes. They were just barefoot, and I couldn't take that, man. I couldn't take that. So I saw kids going to the bathroom, urinals, barefoot, stepping on urine, and man, I saw this was disgusting. So immediately my mind switched. I was like, no. I rebelled. I was like, I don't want to go in this school. We are kids, and I saw that it did. As much as my dad was struggling, but I didn't know at that time. I was a kid, of course. I'm like, no, man, I don't want to go to this school. This is messed up. So they took me. In fact, I remember they took me for an interview to join the school, and I failed, like, purposely. I wanted to fail so that I don't join the school. But for them, instead of not giving me admission, they said that I should now uh, downgrade to the class I was before, because I was supposed to go to class 6. They took me back to class 5. So I'm like, yo, I mean, I thought my plan was to fail so that I don't get into this school. But instead, they went and downgraded me to class 5. And the funny thing, the saddest thing is that I was now in the same class with my younger brother, the brother after me. Yeah, I was the same class with my younger brother, and remember, my brother is so smart. He's very smart, number one material. Even like when he went there, he always took the first number. So I'm now with the same class with my brother. I'm so bored. I'm like, now what is this? This is even not fun anymore. It's like I'm in prison. The teachers are so crazy. Like, they take education so serious. Yeah, you should take it serious, but not that serious. That's what I believe in, man. You should make it fun, As much as it should be serious, but you should make it fun. any step mistake, and then they teach you how to be scared. You know, you are scared when you see a teacher, you get scared. You know, me in Nairobi, I used to like talk to my teachers. I used to have fun with them, have jokes. You know, we used to get along. But now in the village, these guys are so serious. It's like they're commanding. Like I see my dad in them. Yeah? They became my dad. Everyone caning every time. It was just messed up. So I decided now what we will do. Let me just hang hang on for a minute. Let me just concentrate and do my things. But when I tried to concentrate, I felt like there's nothing here. I felt like I even went from top 10 to top 15 now. I was number 13, number 12, number 15 sometimes because I was not getting the vibe. So most of the time, you know, I've learned a lot in life. Most of the time, people think that kids don't like school or something, but the environment also matters. When your kid is settled mentally, your kid can do wonders. So when I was there, and I just tried to stay there for 1 year. The second year, I told my dad when we closed on this, because in school here in Kenya we normally close the schools by December or November, the late November. So when we closed, I told my dad. I just told my mom because I used to tell my mom a lot of things. I told my mom, I won't be going to this school anymore. You guys, if you want me to drop out, I'll drop out. You look for me another school. I need another school. Yeah, so this school will never work for me. As much as you people are struggling or something, this is not my thing. Take me to another school. And because I stood to my ground. I said, if you don't take me to school, then I won't go to any other school. So this is how stubborn somebody can be. So they took me. There's an aunt of mine. I can't remember how we are related, but we are related somehow. But it's a distance relationship. Like we are so related, man. Okay, we are related, yes, but they are distant relatives in a place known as Siaya. Ugenya, Nyalugunga. It's in Siaya County. The guys, tell me down below the guys from Siaya. So I was taken to that place, thinking that now I'll 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 have I'll have peace. But little did I know. Now the funny thing is that the deputy head mistress of that school I was going to was my grandmother. Yeah, because I was told she was my grandmother. She was an aunt to my mom. So automatically she was my grandmother. We used to live with her in the same house. Guys, have you ever I don't know how to put it. Have you ever jumped to avoid stepping on hot stone, then you step direct into the fire? That's what happened to me. I jumped from stepping on a hot stone into a blazing fire. That was crazy. That was messed up. And although I went because it was I did my class 5 again, because in Nairobi I was in class 5. In the village I came and joined class 5, the same with my brother. When I came here now, I joined class 6 because it was a new year. Man, I jumped right into the fire. I remember my aunt, because I call her my aunt. She was in the same class with me. She was known as Esther. I don't remember if she was known as Esther. Man, that was like a military camp. Yeah. Never stay in the same room with your class teacher. That's messed up. Or you with your deputy head mistress. Do you know that we used to wake up by 4 a.m. in the morning just to study? And as I told you, I always take my studies as, I wanted to enjoy my studies, but the moment it becomes a problem, I reject it automatically. That's me even today. Anything that gives me pressure, I'm out of there. Now I'm in school at home and I'm in school back in school. So I'm like, what did I get myself into, man? This is now a big problem. More than what I was used to last year. So I wake up early by 4. We go to preps. After there, we go to school. It was just messed up, man. And one thing, guys, I don't know how many are we, but for me personally, I hate mathematics. I hear people say they love mathematics. Yes, 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 yes. For me, that's a no-go zone. Mathematics is not for me. And it's because of one reason. There's a time my dad tried to teach me mathematics when I was young. And when my dad is teaching me, this guy is from work. He's frustrated. His work has not been successful like the way he wanted. He's tired. So this guy, when he's teaching you maths, he's like, tell me, pi r squared, how did you get this sum? And if you hesitate a little bit, you get a slap. Bah! So most of the time, instead of concentrating in the mathematics, I was concentrating and making sure that his hand don't land on my cheek. So I was like, when he even shakes, I was like protecting my face. So I'm not even thinking of the mathematics. I'm not even thinking of the mathematics. I'm thinking of his hand, and he's right next to me. I'm so protective. I'm like, yo, if you bring that hand again, I'll block it. So that was all I was thinking about, and I swore internally. I swore I'll never know mathematics. Trust me. Yeah. Today we're just saying the truth. I swore. I said, if this is what it takes to teach me, then I don't want to know. I don't want to know. But that's me. That's who I am. That's kind of a personality that I have. You don't force me to know anything. I know it. I'll know it when I want. I'll know it when I feel like I should know it. But you don't force me. That's one thing I've come to learn about me. You don't force me into issues. You don't force me into things. You can talk me into it, but you'll never force me into it. Forcing me, that's another thing. Trust me, guys. So from that day I saw, guys, up to today, trust me, I know nothing about mathematics. Even if now you give me like the simple mathematics, algebra, or maybe you give me board maths, anything to do with, I know nothing. And I'm so proud. I'm proud, man. I'm proud because I'm happy. Yeah, so I know nothing about math. My life must continue. So when I went there to that school, my grandfather, my grandmom, who was my deputy headmaster at the school, made sure that I was on toes. But she didn't know that that was not my style of learning. She didn't know, man. She didn't really know. I did play. I didn't used to like. I used to focus on education, but I wanted it to be more. I wanted it to be more reliable to me, enjoyable. I wanted it to be more enjoyable to learn. Not. It's like me. I don't like harsh life. Yeah? When you try to dictate me or do something that it's like now we are forcing each other. No, 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 no. So guys, the funny thing is that I stayed there for only a week. 1 week in that school. Then I pretended to be sick. I just faked sickness, and I told them I want to go. They took me to the district hospital. They treated me. They said there's nothing. They took me to. I told them take me back home. When I went back home, man, I was so jovial to see my mom. I was just running up and down, and they realized this guy didn't want that place because that was even worse than the place I was before. So my mom had to call my dad and tell him your son is back from that place. He has refused to go to that school. So what can we do? What next? And my dad said, bring him to me. So I was taken back to Nairobi, and that was the last time I saw my grandfather back at home, because we used to live with my grandfather there. May his soul rest in peace. Maybe one day, guys, I'll tell you a lot about my grandfather. He taught me a lot. He really taught me a lot, and he was so dear to me. He told me a lot of stories. For those who people watched Giracha's videos, previous videos, I told some stories. Even Robiga, I told some few stories about my grandfather. He used to be a great guy, man. That guy was awesome. May his soul continue resting in peace. So, guys, that was the last time I saw my grandfather. I went to the city. Now, me going back to Nairobi, my mindset, I was like, we are going back to the setting that I'm used to. Which setting? I'm going back to, you know, I'm going back to the Mbotela lifestyle that we used to live before. That was what I thought. Little did I know. So, when we reached Nairobi. We went with my mom, I remember. We were entering that place, that slum. Hey, I can't forget. I almost went back to the village. Hey. So we were walking, going, and I see the shops, I see the shacks. I started seeing the sewage line, sewage smelling. It was messed up, man. I'm like, where are we going? I thought we were going to the older place. My mom told me, no, your dad got out of that place now. Uh, he lives in a different place. Oh, man, guys, that was messed up completely. We went there. I saw the way that place was, man. It was so disgusting. It was smelling. And I'm like, hey, this life took my dad to this place. Man, this is messed up. Then I went, waited for my dad. He was not at home. He was he was at work. He was paying 1,000 shillings for rent. 1,000 shillings. That's like less than $1. I mean, less than $10. Maybe $7 or maybe $6. You know, a dollar now is, the dollar is high. Maybe $7. Uh, we I stayed there, and the funny thing, within a week, I blended in. It was like normal to me now. I didn't even know that I was the one despising that place, and that's what I came to realize. One thing about life: when you are comfortable in your comfort zone, my friend, that's your downfall. Because when I was coming there, I was despising that place. I was even saying, I won't live here for even a day. But now I found myself enjoying that place and getting comfortable in that place. And that gives me another idea. The first impression matters a lot, and you should take it serious. Eh? When you go somewhere, the first impression matters a lot, because the first thing I saw when I came there, I didn't like it. After 1 week, I blended in and I was like, it's fine, I can stay. This taught me a lot. In life, when you feel like you're comfortable, you are doing your things, are running, you are at risk of losing everything. So I stayed there. I felt comfortable. I started creating friends. I started, I started mingling with boys around the area, and that's how I kicked off my career, and it was amazing, amazing, amazing. Like, I met beautiful souls. I even did amazing things when I was there, and I also got it was a head growth. I showed you guys, like, while there. So I was taken to hospital. They did surgery on my head, and that's a story for another day. So me being there, the good thing with me, as much as people thought bad things about me, people thought that maybe this guy will be a drug addict, this guy will be lost. I've never used drugs. That's 100%. I've never used drugs. I'm always sober. I'm always I'm always sober while making decisions or anything. The only problem is that my parents never understood me. Yeah. Nowadays, they try to understand me, they get along somehow, but we are not yet there. But all in all, my life in the slum was not that bad. I really made good friends. We still have them up to today. I can't say I made bad decisions in life because I didn't indulge in any drug activity. And the friends that I made, some of them are so successful up to today, and we're still in touch. So I guess I'll end this story here. So if you want, I'll do a part 2. Tell me, I want to see the response of this one, then I'll now give you a part 2 of this story. I tell you how I got the growth and how it was handled and how I felt. And also I'll tell you how I managed to come out of the slums and become who I am today. And I also tell you like my education journey, how I went to college and how I managed to secure a job in one of the biggest farms here in Kenya, which is Kenya Airways. You know, I've worked for Kenya Airways for 2 years, and these are the things that we'll get on the next video. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for always being there. Kindly give the video a like, give the video a thumbs up, and comment down below. Tell me about the videos and tell me if you think I should do a part 2 of this story. If you enjoyed it, kindly share with your friends so that they can be happy. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for making me monetize. Right now I can get a small thing out of this videos that I do. Remember, I did this for like 11 months before I got monetized. So I really appreciate your effort. I really appreciate what you did to me. I'm so humble. I'll always be humbled. And guys, my wife's baby shower is coming soon. We are doing a baby shower to welcome our second born. And one day I'll also tell a story about how we met with my wife, and you guys are going to enjoy everything. Just tell me down below if you think I should continue with these stories. I'm at my Ugnos place, guys. This is Villarindima right here, and we have the store right there. So that's it, guys. Until next time, peace. Bye bye.